Hey guys, we're live here at Cody Riverside Farm. This is Flash, I'm Kevin. We're going to be doing a sloth encounter here in just a couple minutes. Michaela went to go get the guests. Keep watching. It's going to be awesome. You're going to get to see people feed Flash. It's really cool.
Flash is already out and ready.
Do I need to take my glasses off?
Do what?
Do I take my glasses off?
No. You can go all the way in.
Yeah, all the way back over to where he's at. He is already hungry this morning. Hopefully he's got a good appetite for us. So we're going to feed him his breakfast. All of this is his. His favorite are green beans, but he may just try to eat all of it. We just feed him like a little reverse Pez dispenser, so once he gets a hold of the end of the veg, you just let it go and he'll take it. They have really poor eyesight, so he can't really tell the difference between your finger and a sweet potato.
Oh.
So you just want to make sure don't stick any fingers in there.
Okay.
But Flash is a sweet boy. He is 6 years old, but he's still got a long life ahead of him, hopefully.
Oh, he's so cute.
So Flash came from a facility that was just observation beforehand, before we got him. So he wasn't used to anything like this, used to any kind of interaction. And so it took John, the owner, about 2 years of really just working with him and getting him used to his voice and getting used to him being in there in his enclosure. Just small baby steps every day just so he didn't ever stress him out. But Flash finally got to the point where he would come down and would like to interact with people and would actually eat out of our hands like this, whereas beforehand he would not.
Yeah.
So
he was a baby.
he was not, he was 3 years old
Okay.
when we got him. And he had already, you know, for the first 3 years of his life, had never been really interacted with like this. So it took him a good 2 years really to get used to people being in here and talking to him and being around him and things like that. And everything with the sloth is slow, so even the conditioning of being with people and around people is very slow as well. So he came from a facility that's kind of like a zoo, where it was just, he was just behind some plexiglass and nobody ever really went in there and, you know, touched him or anything like that. But he's to the point now where you can pet him, like just real slow pets down his back.
Oh, he moves a lot faster than the movies.
Yeah, if they have incentive behind it, if they're about to lose a veggie out of the corner of their mouth, they will definitely grab a hold of it. And same thing if they're trying to evade, you know, something that's after them in the wild or anything like that, they can move a little bit quicker. But their fastest mode of transportation is definitely by water. So if they were to come down out of the tree and be trying to go to find a mate or whatever reason, if they were to fall out of a tree, their goal is to find a body of water because they're going to move quickest in a body of water. So. And you're welcome to go and help feed too if you wanted to.
Did you get any video? Oh, Flash, right?
Yes.
He was like, where is this?
Yeah, he gets pretty demanding.
I absolutely love sloths.
Yeah? Where are you guys from?
Chattanooga, Tennessee, and
Okay.
then where I'm originally from, San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah. Well, Chattanooga's not that far from us. Where'd you guys hear about us?
Online, literally searching up where to
Well,
meet a
you got
sloth.
pretty lucky then with it being so close.
Yes.
A lot of places are pretty far away for people.
Yeah, I think when we lived in Texas, because we recently moved to Tennessee, there was a place that was like an hour and a half away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there was only one place in Texas.
Yeah. Is this the first time that you guys have ever been able to interact with a sloth?
Yes.
Cool.
Other than at the zoo, but the zoo, like you said,
Yeah.
they're just behind a plexiglass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cute. So do you get to be with him every day?
Yeah, so my job title is the sloth keeper. I've not been here for very long. I've just been here for about a month. But I'm still, you know, learning everything about him and everything, but this is my primary.
That's cool. So what did you do before this?
So before I worked at a small animal clinic. I'm wanting to go to vet school, and so I'm just trying to get all the experiences that I can. That way to look better on my vet school application.
That's cool. No.
Don't want the sweet potato.
Is that why he's smelling it
Mhm.
first?
Yep, so since sloths have such poor eyesight, they can't distinguish what you have that's in front of them. So they have to use their sense of smell, and their sense of hearing is also really good. That's why we always tell people, don't wear a whole bunch of heavy cologne or perfume or lotions or things like that before you come in, because they can pick up on stuff like
Yeah.
that a lot easier.
No, just shied you away.
But that's another thing about sloths too, is that
Can you
once
smell
they are
that?
full, they have no problem turning away food. Their digestive tract already takes 30 days to digest everything that's in it from start to
You
finish.
want that?
So it takes a long time to digest everything, and because of that, once their system gets
Oh,
full, well, you'd be pretty picky too if you got your food hand-fed to you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so their digestive tract takes a long time to digest everything that's in it. So once they do get full for the day, or for the hour, if they don't think they need to eat anymore at that moment, they have no problem turning away food.
How often does he eat?
He's pretty much a snacker throughout the day. He gets his breakfast in the morning, which is a bowl of everything that you see there, and then in the evening he gets mostly leafy greens, and then a few fiber biscuits and things like that. But all throughout the day he's coming down, and he'll be back and forth with wanting a few snacks and things like that. Flash only interacts in the mornings for his breakfast, but occasionally, if we're doing another encounter and he hears us down here talking about Zoe, he'll come down. He's like, "You guys got any snacks down here for me?" And then he'll come out. But
So you've already learned his movements.
oh yeah, yeah. All three of our sloths have pretty much schedules that they have got routine down, and we try to stick to that. So when we first started doing encounters with Flash, we started those at 10 o'clock every morning, because that's what time he decided that he wanted to come down and start to interact. I get here at 9:30, and around from 9:30 to 10, I'm chopping up their veggies, cleaning up the room, getting everything set up, and he hears me down here, and he'll come down, and if I don't open up his door first thing in the morning, he's smearing his nose across the corner of the door right there, like, "Let me out, you gonna let me
I
out?"
love that.
So we didn't used to have this branch that went across through there. We would just go into his enclosure to do his encounters. But once we started to realize that, he was pretty impatient in the mornings and wanted our attention, and while we were out here chopping veggies and stuff, he would just come out here and hang out,
Aw.
since we put that branch up. And so that's when we started doing his encounters in here. But Flash, he has an enclosure that goes up 20 feet. And so if he goes up there in the middle of the day and just feels like taking a nap and doesn't want to come back down, that's totally fine with us. But we know that in the mornings he's going to be down, he's going to want his breakfast, so that's what time we started doing his encounters.
That's so funny.
So he doesn't have an encounter for any longer than an hour a day. You guys have him from 10 to 10:30, and then you're with Zoe from 10:30 to 11. And sometimes right after the 10 to 10:30 encounter, somebody else will come in and finish his breakfast.
Yeah.
But then he's done after that. The rest of the day he just kind of gets to come and go as he pleases and do what he wants.
But he's eating all the green beans, so
Yeah.
we'll see. They're all gone. We have one more.
And Flash is so picky that sometimes I have offered him one side of like a piece of zucchini or something, and he sniffs it and he's like, "Oh, I'm not really feeling zucchini." And then I'll act like I'm turning, getting a different veggie, but I'll just turn the vegetable around to show him the other side, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's what I wanted right there."
Oh, you don't want it.
Yeah, and he may change his mind here in a minute too. He has to think about it sometimes. But you're welcome to pet Flash too, just real nice slow strokes down his back to see how soft he is. And he's completely fine with that.
It's not what you want. So do they bite?
They only bite if they feel threatened, and these sloths here are so used to being around people and interacting with people that they don't perceive us as a threat. So when we come in here, all we ever bring them is food and
He knows you're
loads
safe.
and things like that. Yeah. And so, but if this were to be a wild sloth that we had just taken from the rainforest and brought here into captivity, you would most definitely get bitten.
Yeah.
So sloths, that are in the wild, that's all that they know, and that's all that they should know. Sloths from the wild should not be brought into captivity. unless absolutely necessary, like if they were to be injured and couldn't be returned or things like that.
Yeah. Are you still hungry? You wanna try?
So all of the sloths that we have here have been generationally bred in captivity.